Hey, what's up everyone? Morey Croson here. We have a brand new video for today. This is something that was requested by you guys. You want to do an upper body banded exercise or workout routine, and we're going to hop into that right now. We just have something set up right here. This is going to be like right about where my belly button is. It could be lower, it could be higher, doesn't really matter. And then also the bands don't really matter a ton. I just have like a simple setup here where I could just like hook it on, but it could just be like a regular, IT band or any type of really resistance band here. And the big focus is just going to be on how we can get better activation through the triceps, through the lats, through really like the mid back, the rhomboids, the lower traps, all those muscles, even the serratus a little bit, will all be really important. So the first thing that I'm going to do here, and it's really primarily for sprinters, so the first thing I'm going to be here is just in a nice upright position, and then I'm just going to pull straight back from here. And the big thing that I just don't want to do here is allow my shoulders to round forward, right? So I don't want to do too much of that action. I want to be keeping my shoulder blades back and pull back from there as I'm going through each one of the reps, okay? And then from there, I'm just going to keep my elbows locked in, and then I'm just going to pull out to the side. The big mistake that I see here is that when people are moving, they'll try to like do, like almost try to make it into a fly type of a motion. The idea is really keep those elbows tight, because as we're sprinting, we do want to be able to keep those elbows locked in. A common mistake is for people to go out here. You do want to lock those elbows in and pull right off to the side. Another one that I like to do here is I'll just like double up, so I just makes it so there's more resistance overall. And so I have my right leg back, and then I also am going to pull back with my right arm. Okay, and that just allows me, and I can do it really both sides, it doesn't really matter. This is going to be transfer over more to my specific sprinting. It just doesn't work as well with like your obliques and everything. This one will make it so it's a little bit easier to allow you to get full rotation, right, because my spine has more range. So I like to do it more from that side, and then I'll also do the same thing on the other side. This one's going to create more lat activation, right? So it's going to be triceps, it's going to be lat. Just make sure when you're going back, I'm not opening up with my thumbs, right? I don't want to make it so it's a palm forward action. I want to make sure that my pinkies are facing straight back as I'm pulling back with each one of these reps. Okay, that ends up being really important with that one. Okay. Another one's going to be for my posture. I'm pulling back here, keeping everything upright. I can have a slight bend in the knee, and then I'm just pushing straight up from that position. Right, this is going to maintain good activation through my rotator cuff, and also make sure that I have really good posture. A great one for my shoulders, a great one to help me in improving my ability to stay upright. I also like an exercise where you're creating some type of middle delt activation. So for here, I'm just going to pull right off to the side. That's going to make sure that I can activate through there. I'll also lock my elbow in, pull off to the side from that area. This one's similar to what we did before. We're just isolating one side. I do like to do, one on an individual standpoint, right? So it's good to do squats with two legs, and it's good to do squats with one leg. Same type of thing here. It's good to do it with two arms, and also good to do it with two hands. So it's a little bit of both. In terms of activation, you could really get through some compensations that way and feel what side's weaker. Maybe one side might end up being something, there's something that you can't do as well on one side, so it's good to be able to isolate that particular movement at that particular time. Another good one is, and there's some people that will end up needing to like cross over their bands to be able to make this more effective, so it's just keeping everything upright and just pulling off to the side. It's going to get more of my rear delt, right? So what we've gotten so far, we've gotten the lats, we've gotten the triceps, we've gotten the middle delt. Now we're going after the rear delt. So we got the rotator cuff. So we got a lot of the muscles that we need to in order to really get a full upper body routine here. And for each of these, I'm going to do it for like 12 reps, 12 to 15 reps in order to really maximize the how much I'm able to activate through each one of those. And then I'll also go forward here. And here I'll just go and push forward, control back. And this will get, again, lats, but it'll also get serratus too. And as I'm doing this, I'm just controlling how I'm going back here. So if I go and I extend a bunch, that's going to end up impacting how well I'm able to activate through. So I'm just going to be pulling straight through, utilizing the band. And then I could even go into some type of chest fly as well. This is all stuff that's going to be really easy for my pecs to do, so I'd add more resistance, right? So for me, I just have to go and strap this on. That's why I have these particular bands. You can go ahead and check the links down below if you want to purchase these bands, by the way. Shameless plug there, but you know, it does make it easier if you guys don't have any bands. But a lot of you guys already have them. If you have different types of bands already set up, then, you know, different resistance and all that type of stuff, that's good. That'll make it just easier. But if you want to get something that's like this, then by all means. I'll also do this one with one arm, right? So this is going to be right leg back, right arm forward, and I'm just pushing straight through from that position. Right, so this just gives you a lot of options of things you could do with the bands to be able to get a good solid upper body workout. You don't need to always be using dumbbells or weights, and I actually a lot of times prefer not to do that. I'd rather do more like body weight, especially if you're trying to improve your sprint. When you're doing this one, just make sure you're locking that the elbow in tight. You don't want to be here. Be nice and tight with that elbow. It's a little bit tougher on this side. The left one's obviously weaker. Another good thing here would be just strengthening your serratus. So for this, I'll just go. This one you do want to have your right leg back, and I'm just going to lock my serratus into place and push all the way back in. Lock my serratus or my scapula back into place, then push back. Lock that scapula in. Push all the way out, and just do that multiple times, right? As I'm doing this, we get a little bit better angle from this camera, but I'm really trying to pull back with my arm here as I'm going through that motion, right? And then I'm just allowing my humerus or that bone here to really separate as I'm going through. I can also just knock out some shoulder presses from this position. So I'm here, this is kind of pulling me back. I'm maintaining that position, keeping my core on, and then just pushing straight up overhead. This is, again, you know, a little bit lighter. I'd want to add weight to be able to make this a little bit more challenging, but it is another good thing to do to be able to kind of open up that chest muscle and then still be able to work on your delts, which is going to be an important spot to be. You know, when you're sprinting, you don't want to be stuck here. Right, so I'm always doing things, how can I open up my shoulders? And again, this is a good one. You can see, like, I can't really get to this position unless I open up my shoulders. So it's always good to be working in that spot in order to really get the most out of that upper body. So hopefully this makes a lot of sense to you guys. Hopefully this ends up being beneficial. If it is, go ahead and click that thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions, comments, or recommendations, you can leave those down below. Check out the 28-day free speed program. We just launched it. I think we've been getting a ton of great feedback on it so far. And, you know, I'm really excited to see what the results end up being. I think we're like 2 days in right now. So, you know, I don't think that there's going to be a ton of great results already. But I will say, if you liked it and have really started to see some type of benefit, let us know. I want to be able to answer any questions you might have, and also want to be able to see any benefits that you're seeing. That's the big thing with why I made it, is because I want to show proof of concept to you guys, right? I want you to be able to experience what it is that we do here at the Performance Lab. And so I wanted to give you something that would be long enough for you to actually see some results, but then also, you know, something that, you know, I could still do for free. So really excited about that. Go ahead and check the description down below in order to find out more. And then we have a bunch of different links as well if you want to find out more about our speed program or speed breakdowns or anything like that. So as always, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.